Worst Things First podcast is where ordinary people have the type of conversations that reveal the extraordinary in all of us. Every walk of life has a downside. Now let's start at the bottom. Since you heard this rhyme, then you already know the time. You are back with WTFP, Worst Things First podcast. Today's guest, sneaker connoisseur and co-owner of Illest Around sneaker boutique, Justin Baccam. How you doing today, sir?
I'm well. Thanks for having me today.
Peace, man. It's man, I got so many questions.
Yeah, shoot it.
We'll certainly get into Illest Around, which is one of the flyest joints here.
Appreciate that.
In Des Moines, in the Midwest, in Iowa for certain. When it comes to ill joints, ill kicks, custom joints. So I want to hear all about that business and all that sort of thing because I used to be a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
But I was wearing buddies, which is what we called them down south when I lived in Alabama. Motherfuckers be like, man, you got some slick buddies on for the longest. And that was no name brand joints. Mm-hmm. The first pair of name brand joints I got was in sixth grade. And my pops got me a pair of low-cut Fila, all black joints.
Yeah.
My daughter told me the other day, Fila's is trash right now. I'm like, not amongst the black community. At least not back in the day. I don't know no more.
They still got some flavor.
Okay.
They still got some flavor.
All I remember shortly after that time, my uncle got me my first and up until recently only pair of Jordans. Just because in my family, it just wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? That just wasn't a thing.
Oh, yeah. I do understand that, too.
Yeah, so shortly, years after that, I started having my own money and doing my own thing. And I remember back in the day getting an East Bay magazine sent to the crib.
Yeah, I remember that.
And going hard off East Bay. I went to sleep. Several years later, here we are. I woke up, and the sneaker game is smashing right now.
It's booming right now.
You know, I'm seeing the Financial Times talk about how recently the American resale sneaker game was at like $2 billion in revenue generation. It's expected to be $6 billion by 2025. Mm-hmm. But I ain't the expert on none of that, you know? And I only got about 4 or 5 pair of rocking kicks out there right now. I visited Illest Around your store, and that shit is jumping. I don't even know why y'all call it a boutique, because that bitch, when I think boutique, I think small.
High-end,
no, but I think just small. Even if you were to look up the definition of boutique, I would guess that there's some component of it that deals with the size of it. And one of those components is small, little, quaint joint.
Yep.
The specialty shit. Now, y'all definitely got the specialty shit. Y'all definitely got all types of shit that rocks. So let me ask you this, sir. When did you first get into sneaks? What was your first pair of name brand joints? Let's get into it.
Man, I got into sneakers in high school. I used to, always wanted to rock something dope. So first name brand pair of sneakers, man, I'd have to say Jordan 5 Fire Red 5s. I actually didn't get a pair of Jordans until I got out of high school.
Okay.
My family didn't want to spoil me, I understand that.
I understand it.
When I got to, an adult or had my own money, had my own job, I was able to cop whatever I want to cop. But before I got into Jordans, I was more into SBs. Subsec put me on. Subset skate shop.
Here in Des Moines.
Yeah. And that's how I got into sneakers and clothing, man.
So you got your J's. After high school. I was always told. So I was living in Indianapolis before I moved down south. We weren't allowed to in a certain area. Most parents wouldn't allow you to get a starter jacket or J's because motherfuckers was getting killed for them.
Yeah.
There was a certain period of time.
For it,
there was a certain period of time where people getting motherfuckers was letting off for that shit. And I remember I used to have to walk past Rosalind's Bakery. Shout out to Rosalind's, closed down. Health code issues. Y'all should have took care of that. I used to have to walk past that joint to Hook's Drugstore, 830 East 38th Street, across Carrollton and all that, college and all that. And it was less than a mile, I think. I'm pretty sure. But I remember there was a story some years back of some head being on top of the awning of one of the gas stations in that area, just letting off with a semi-automatic.
Right.
Over a starter jacket. And so anytime you talked about or brought up getting some J's or something like that, it was shot down off that type of tip. Then, like I said, my uncle came through in the clutch. So that was my first pair of J's, and I never got another pair until recently as a grown man.
Do you remember what kind of pair that was?
I think they were the 8s. They're the suede. They were black suede.
Right.
And
they got the
cross on them with the 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fresh. Man, it turned around the whole social perception of me for half a year.
For half a year.
Half a year. Motherfuckers that was talking hella shit just like a week or two ago, all of a sudden was like, because my name was Boomer back then.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Boomer got some fresh kicks though. That nigga do this thing though. So all of a sudden I'm doing my thing. But anyway, so you got into sneakers. We know when, but when did you know that it was time for you to start getting into the business?
The business?
Yeah.
Man, I went through, a little bit of struggles, man. I got in trouble in 2014. I was a little knucklehead, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we all were.
Yeah.
We all were.
So I was in the joint for 3.5 years.
Where was this at?
I bounced around. I was in Newton for a year.
Okay.
Got out of there, transferred to not Clarinda.
Okay.
Mount Pleasant. I was there for another year. Got bored there. Asked my counselor if I could transfer, make my time go faster. And I got to Clarinda. I did my last bid there.
It was easy like that. You didn't have to stage psych issue.
Oh yeah, I had to go through all that. I had to go through all the psyches and all that. But
you made it sound like
it was pretty smooth though. Everything was pretty
okay.
smooth for me because I didn't get into trouble. I stayed
got
out the way.
Okay.
I just try to keep my head straight in there and focus about what to do when I get home.
And that was when?
2007, August of 2017.
For real?
Yeah.
Man, because
So when I say like, this is still surreal, a little surreal to me that I opened up a business because I did it in a short period of time, and I did that 3 months after I got home.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 months after I got home. So
Okay.
August, September, October, November of 2017 is when we had the grand opening at Merle Hay Mall.
I was going to ask you about Merle Hay. How
Yeah.
long were you there? Because I know there was a departure.
We were there 5.5, 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, we ran into some things with the other foot shops there.
Oh,
so
do tell.
They were being haters, so they got us to shut. They got the mall to shut us down because the mall will side with more of a corporate than a local owned shop. So let me make sure I understand. Were they basically saying that there ain't enough room in town for both of these sheriffs? Like if you're gonna have a shoe store, we're already here. We're corporate. Their excuse was, you guys carry footwear, just like Foot Locker.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yo, there's a famous footwear and Journeys, they carry footwear as well. So what's the difference between us? Maybe I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want us to, do better. Or
would you say that when you first moved in there was a heavy influx of business that they could maybe say they felt was drawing away from their clientele?
Yeah,
like you saw that.
We
felt
did.
That?
Yeah,
okay.
we did bring a lot of business to the mall, and we were pretty much the main attraction there. So I guess they felt like we were a threat, so they got us out of there.
So that's what that was all about. I remember seeing the whole thing on the news and some other shit.
Yeah, we were on the news for
about
that.
About y'all leaving. I thought y'all were just leaving because that mall is dying.
No, we wanted to stay.
We didn't grass have growing.
Yeah, we didn't have no plans yet.
By the pretzel place.
Mm-hmm.
There's weeds in the middle of the fucking mall.
It's
like
dead
that,
now.
It's
dead now. The only thing they got there, honestly, is JCD's and Hobby and Flick's Brew House.
Okay, those are the two places you endorse. All right, you heard it here first. Justin Baccam said, fuck everybody else at Merle Hay Mall except the 2 names he just named. Give me the new location of Illest Around, your sneaker.
All right, we are located in West Des Moines, in Clive. We're inside of Governor Square, actually on the same strip as Shag and Platinum, the new Platinum signature.
Okay.
We're across the street from TJ Maxx, Fresh Time, and Ohana's.
All right. Now let's jump into it. Let's get into that business. What's the worst thing you run into with that?
The business?
Yeah.
Man, we get a lot of people that come in and, try to buy some things and lowball us. And people's always bringing stuff to sell for the high. They got to understand that, if you want to sell some used stuff or get rid of some stuff, that you got to be fair with prices.
Yeah.
You really got to be fair with prices. So we work with them on that. We educate them on, the sneakers and the market value of things.
Oh, wow. So you have, all right, let me rewind just a little bit, because when I said earlier that I fell asleep, this is part of what I meant. Like I fell asleep like Rip Van Winkle. And then when I woke up, the concept of sneakers and buying shoes had changed. Mm-hmm. I was used to waiting all year and possibly getting a joint sometime. You going with your pops or somebody take you to the joint, and then you like, damn, it's the illest day on earth. The only thing that rivals that would be going to the movie store to get a rental and coming away with 2 or 3 video games and a movie.
Right.
Then I look up and heads are trading shit. They're reselling shit. They're telling somebody before that person even has the shoes in their possession. They're like, yo, I can get that for you. And so shit to me, like, it's like the market is, the whole concept of shit is different now, and it's on some advanced shit now. So for the listeners, explain to us what it is you do, how that varies from a retail store in the sense of, you just mentioned things like someone coming and bringing in gear, wanting to sell shit to you.
Yeah.
You educating them because they're trying to sell shit to
Right.
you. Talk about that.
The difference between us, we are a resale store. So we're not a retail. We can't get stuff, from a warehouse. So the thing we have to do is we actually have to put in work and reach out to our friends or people from a bigger city that has access to stuff like this, like the more exclusive wares and footwear.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us here in Iowa to obtain those things. That's why me and my partner wanted to start something like this to see where it could actually take us. But there are also a bunch of resellers as well here. And then the culture is just growing rapidly.
Oh, is it? There's a lot of competition here?
Competition,
Yeah.
as in, not as in any stores, no, but people are doing it on the side. It's like a side hobby as well.
Okay. You have a partner in this.
Yeah.
What's your partner's name?
My partner's name is Alan.
Okay.
He couldn't make it here today. He had to go to
That's all good.
Milwaukee for his son's gymnastic meet.
Alan, he done spilled all the beans. You didn't have to get no excuse. I just want to make sure he got
It's
his
all
shout
good.
out.
Shout out to my partner, Alan.
No, but okay, so now heads are wrapping their minds around this idea of buying. When would you say buying used shoes came into a picture where it was a cool thing?
Buying used shoes? Well,
Yeah.
I look at it as a art piece,
Okay.
Something that maybe you couldn't get when you were younger.
Okay.
So some people are still seeking that pair.
Okay.
So buying used stuff, and some people would rather just buy something used than new because it's a little lesser value, and they could just wear it right away instead of just holding it.
Man, you actually just put some shit in perspective for me, because I could see purchasing something for a little bit more than I normally would if I'm pursuing it as a piece of art or just something I appreciated the aesthetic of. I could see doing that, and then one day being like, bitch, I'm about to wear those. Like I'm going out.
Yeah. It happens.
Because initially when I started hearing heads, it was like they paying $300, $500, $700, $900 for shoes now, $1,500.
It's ridiculous.
I'm like, what do y'all? I was bugging me out, man. And damn, that shit was bugging me out. I'm having an episode right now.
It's actually
because I'm going through all the mental shit regarding that shit. Go ahead.
You could also see it as an investment too.
Yeah.
Big time investment. Something that that is worn holds value still, just depending on the condition of it and things like that, you know.
What percentage of your stock would you say is used versus, I don't know, dead stock? Or
I would say like 60-40 dead stock. You know, we got 40% dead stock pairs, mainly more, I think, consigned used pairs and stuff as well, you know.
Okay. What is, for the listeners who aren't aware, what is dead stock exactly?
Dead stock is a pair of brand new shoes, never been worn, and you can't find them in stores anymore. That's what dead stock means.
Are you aware of this whole stash shit?
Stash. What is stash?
I was watching a documentary on sneaker shit, and these heads was talking about the stash thing is like they.
Is it an app?
It might be. It has to do with like all these heads who are sneaker heads who flip and sell the shit. They get information on where on a place to go find clues and shit.
Oh, I got you.
And they go and they scan. Once they scan all the items or all the clues or whatever,
yeah,
that gives them the eligibility to be able to cop.
Yeah,
a pair of kids.
In bigger cities, they do have some things like that. Like, say, if there's an event, like, for instance, say, All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
They have some app. I'm not sure what it's called. It might be Sneaker Stash from the sneaker app, you know, and it will actually pop up in the location, you know, randomly, and you actually have to go and find that location. And if you hit that location, you win the shoe.
Oh, so that'd be dope if you can win the shoe.
Yeah.
The thing I was peeping, like, the dude got the opportunity to purchase the shoe. And so I'm like, damn, you got to do physical labor. Like, he was out having to outrun other motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
There's people that actually cook, like, cook. Like, they would go seek these pairs out. Like,
that's what these heads was on.
Yeah, that's what they're on. Like, say, if I'm from Iowa, right?
Yeah.
You know, some of the homies are from other states and stuff like that. They would fly out to, like, Chicago, LA, New York, try to obtain these things because they know where that spot is, and they would bring their team out with them and just cook.
Damn, that's ill.
Yeah.
See, I like hearing that there's a whole facet of, that's my favorite thing about life, really, is running into people where there's a whole facet of life and a whole world that exists that I don't know anything about.
Yeah, same.
It makes life fresh.
Same.
You know, it keeps life fresh for you. So the worst thing is heads trying to lowball you. What's the worst approach you ever felt on that? What's the worst situation?
Man, I really don't feel too bad about it, but people got to understand, you know, the whole perspective of owning a business.
Yeah.
We got to keep the lights on, you know. We got rent to pay, overheads a lot. Also, I see a lot of fakes that come in all the time.
Okay, I was gonna ask you this. Back, like, shortly before I started college, I had this job at a gypsum mill. Super well-paying job, horrible work. It was crazy because I would be in there working, and the workers would be like, "What are you doing here? You need to go on and do something with your life. Don't ever come back here after you leave here." You hear it was like some old Annie weird-ass type of joint, but it was super depressing because every head that worked there, they would get off at like 6 a.m, go right to the bar, and that was just a routine. And they always told me they didn't want me to fall into that routine. So just get out there and go and do something. And the one thing I remember about that job is I made money faster than I could spend it.
Right.
And but when I did spend it, I would get like all types of shit that I didn't need. One of those was a pair of Jordans. It was I can't remember what joint it was. It was the patent leather joints, but it was the red patent leather.
Was it probably 11?
Maybe.
I'm assuming.
Probably.
Yeah.
You would know better than me. What I do know is when I got them joints, they were 2 sizes too small, and the whole cuff that went around the heel was cardboard.
It was cardboard?
Cardboard. But I don't mean cardboard like an Amazon box. I mean cardboard like a cereal box.
Yeah.
Like, so the cloth that was on, it was so thin and flimsy, dude, that immediately, even me not knowing nothing about, like, you know, the craftsmanship of shoes.
Yeah.
Even I was like, oh, they got me.
Yeah.
That was my first experience with getting a fake pair of shoes. And I was eBay heavy then, so I think I probably got it off eBay. But I had, you know, a lot of good experiences with eBay. That was probably, 2000. So that that fucked my head up. And then I've since then watched a couple documentaries on like in China and other
about tutorials.
Tutorials
and things
that
like
sort
that.
of shit. So, but what do you run into when it comes to dealing with these fakes? And give me, what's the worst situation you ever come up? What's the debacle?
Oh man, I've seen a lot of fakes. At least once or twice a week. It used to be bad, but I think people figured out, do your research before you bring it in, because we're gonna flame you about having some fake shoes. But no, I'm not that mean, but I would educate them on why it's fake, what's the flaws on them.
What are the normal flaws? What are the things people should look for?
Material, stitching, and shape.
Okay.
Also, certain pairs of shoe will have that smell to it, like the factory smell.
Yes.
Like it'll smell like heavy paint or glue. If it smells too bad like that, it came from a straight China factory.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen a lot of fakes, but there's always gonna be fakes around because, there's these high-end shoes are just so expensive that there's always gonna be a market for that.
You have, and you may not want to admit this on the air, you could tell me later, but do you have a pair of fakes that you just go ahead and rock, but the science behind them?
No, I haven't, but I've got for a pair of fakes probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. It happened because I wasn't too informed or knowledgeable about this pair of sneakers because it just released, but I wanted this pair. It was a pair of Supreme SBs.
Okay.
At the time. I actually got scammed, yeah. That's my first scam, actually.
What year?
2000, and I would say, what year is this? 2012. It had to be 2012. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, 2012. I ordered it from some dude out of state, showed me pictures, this and that. Sent it to me, waited 3 days. I was excited to get the pair of shoes.
Right.
Got the shoe. Boxes look cool. Held it in my hand. I was like, yo, the lace bag is different, The lace bag is different on the shoe. Actually, it wasn't the lace bag. It was like
what is the lace bag, man? You're a rocket scientist right now. What is a
lace bag? Is the bag and the laces that's attached to the shoe with the the plastic thing.
All right.
Yeah, I actually got the shoe. It looked funny. Color was off.
Oh damn, yeah. That's everything. Man.
Color was off. Shape was off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first pair of sneakers I've ever got scammed for. Really.
Word.
And yeah.
So that's when you learned. Around then, you knew the game was like that.
Yeah, I gotta stay. You gotta stay on point with this.
No doubt.
Seriously.
So what's the most profitable transaction that you would say if you care to speak on it, the most profitable come up you've made?
I've had a lot actually. Most profitable. Man, there's this sneaker app on called Sneakers, right?
Okay.
I would say 2 years ago.
What does it do? What's the purpose of it?
Well, you could go on the app, and it's a draw, pretty much. Go on the app, and when it comes down to that countdown, put in draw, put in your size, and wait for the time to stop. So you would be selected for entry if you hit.
Huh. Okay.
So you actually win the pair. So
Okay.
your entry will be winning that pair. So there's millions and millions of people on that app buying or trying to go for the same exact pair.
Right.
And there's hype drops every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a pair of off-white UNC ones. That was super duper hype a couple years ago. I got that for retail box price was $160, $170.
Yeah.
Got that pair, sold it for $1K.
Wow.
As soon as I got them.
Wow.
Recently, I actually found this pair, a pair of what is it called? Valtech Dunks, 2002 Valtech Dunks.
Okay.
I got that on an app called Macari, right? We got it for $80. I thought it was gonna be fake. I took my chances on it. It's like, man, if it's fake, it's fake. I'm gonna lose out $80 on it. Fuck it. But
right.
It looked good to me on the pictures. Got it. received it. Everything was legit. I was surprised, amazed, and whoever sold me this pair, man, bless you.
Yeah. Would you
Bless
say that's
you.
would you say that's the Holy Grail? What
That's the holy grail of dunks.
Okay. Is that, would you say that's one and the same with the Holy Grail for you? Meaning when you and I'm not even so much referring to the profit you made or anything. But
Yeah.
talk to me about the one shoe. When you found this one shoe, it was like you heard like, oh, like the heavens open up. You know what I mean? And the gold.
Oh man, I've had plenty of those,
but
but this pair right here means a lot because
that same one.
this is the first dunk model that was pretty much that started it all. It's a classic pair of dunks, you know.
Okay.
Skateboard. Well, it's not a skateboard, but it's in that category.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a dunk. It was a size 14.
Bottom shoe and shit.
Size 14, yeah, flat bottom. It wasn't my size. I wish it was my size though.
Yeah.
Got it for $80. Recently, yesterday, actually, I sold it for $900.
Man.
I put it up for $1K. I said best offer. This dude was trying to buy it for $700. I was like, that's too low. This is a Grail and a unicorn size 14.
Okay.
So I was like, you'll never come across this again. And yeah, he did his research and was like, you know what? I'm gonna offer you $900 for it because he also owns his own shop in California.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Project Blitz.
Word up.
Yeah.
Damn. So you ever found a pair and you really wanted to keep it for yourself, but you couldn't? You had to sell it.
Man, there's a lot. I wish I could keep most of the pairs. I mean, sometimes it's just sitting in my closet. I could do other things with it. There's a lot of pairs I wish I could keep, man. But I had to let them go because I always run into some situations or, things like that. Or
You doing this full time, man?
I'm doing this full time.
That's killer.
This is my full time.
That's good to see, man.
Business.
That's inspiring, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That's inspiring for real. There's some shit I really got to get into.
Okay.
Because me and my daughter are going like mega hard on this shit. So I was talking to her. I was noticing, and again, I've been asleep on this whole fashion world, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can be of hip hop and still like be like oblivious to some of the trends in it. And I looked up, man, and I saw the Champion.
Mm-hmm. Does that throw you back?
It fucks me up because we used to get teased at the same time I was wearing no name brand shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And motherfuckers would be like, man, you got some slick buddies on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, them generic ass joints you got on at the same time in a very close section to that area in Walmart and other stores.
Walmart and Target.
Was Champion shirts, underwear, sweatshirts.
Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
All of that.
Yeah.
It was basically like, getting Hanes or Fruit of the Loom type action.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up the other day and I was trying to tell my my daughter, I was like, when it comes to hooping, and one was the joint, like those shorts is what we used to rock. You know what I'm saying? Like going passing these, the long joints, good quality, all that sort of shit. This lady busts out laughing like, and what? She's like, Dad, don't ever wear no and one shit around in no public like situation. And I was like, man, lady, please. I see y'all motherfuckers wearing Champion and all this. And she was like, Champion is lit. Champion is this, that, whatever. So you got to explain to me, man, when did this flip happen? When did this happen?
Man, this happened, I said probably not too long ago, honestly. Probably like the last 6 to 5 years. Streetwear is a big thing right now. So that's like taking over high-end fashion pretty much.
Okay.
Streetwear is the new wave, I guess, with these kids now because of sneakers. Sneakers and clothing. So a lot of brands nowadays, like older brands, say like Champion or what's some other brands that are older? Tommy, Nautica. All those older brands now are collabing with other brands.
That makes sense, and I get it.
So they could revive their brand now.
Yeah.
That
makes sense, and I get it with like Nautica and all them type of joints, Ralph Lauren and all that type of joints. But like Champion really was the underwear section. Mm-hmm. And then now my daughter told me the other day, like a sweatshirt was like 150 joints or like $200. I'm like,
yeah, they got different lines of Champion.
From the underwear section? And the emblem look the same. What you mean?
Yeah, it's the same. Exact same.
I'm bringing all this up because I was blessed with the IA Illest Around sweatshirt, which I put on backwards when I first
bring that through for you.
Much love to Justin for bringing this joint through. The fit is good. Feels good. The material's good. Doesn't have that weird toxic smell to it. So if you get a chance, make sure you go out to Illest Around and pick you up one.
And we had to print that on Champion too because I
saw that. That's what brought this whole thing up.
That means a lot to us because, you know, we came, you know, from the streets and, you know, we, with all this older brands right now are just starting to come up. So this is like our glow up to put our own brand on Champion.
I wanna before I get into asking you something about something you just said.
Yeah.
Just clarify for me if you know, why are all these young heads wearing the shoes might be dope, but they'll be like a wild, vibrant color and none of the other gear will go with it.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm a B-boy.
Right.
You know, and so back when other motherfuckers weren't doing it, I remember us wearing fuchsia and neon green and other shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it would rock with the hats you had or the headspin cap you had or something else. You know what I'm saying? It would flip and flex like that. But then I see cats that wear, you know what I'm saying? They're getting like the neon pink and neon yellow shoes that cost them out the ass to rock with all hunter green basketball gear and shit or navy. And I'm like,
you know what?
Your tones are smashed.
Just to think about that.
Like a motherfucker.
Just think about that. I guess nowadays nobody matches anymore, and it just seems like they're just wearing whatever.
It seems like it's easier to say, I just want to be different.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to just be it, and even that had to be ill. But like now, you get to just say it at the end of the, you know, if you were questioned about any of this shit. I've been wanting to ask a whole bunch of my relatives why their kids are running around looking like that, and I just figured I'd ask you instead. So stay in good standing.
Well, my opinion is, I guess
you don't give a fuck because you getting the bread up.
I don't really care, but if people want to dress like that and, you know, wear whatever they want to wear, go for it. But I guess people are just wearing it just because of the hype and the wave around it, you know, or that's what we would call a hype beast. A hype beast is like, you know, in your term would be like a toy, or a culture vulture. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I guess.
So talk to me about that, man, because so basically what we're talking about right now, especially when I bring up the B-boy shit or whatever, is we're talking about flavor. Mm-hmm. Like heads are just rocking shit with a lack of flavor and shit like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but and it even started before B-boying. For some reason, a lot of Asian cultures got a lot of flavor.
Oh yeah, I get that a lot. We get that a lot.
I feel like there's just a natural connection between people of color, even, you know, whether or not they may consider themselves that. It's just before you know it, you sit down, you having enough of a conversation, or you put on the right beat, or you put on the right pair of kicks, and before you know it, you grooving with a motherfucker, and you're like, dude, it's almost like there's a vibe there.
Yeah. No, why? Because we came from the same struggles, man. So we understand each other.
You Vietnamese in particular?
I am Thai Dam.
Thai Dam.
Kind of
okay,
like
I'm
Laotian,
sorry.
You know?
I'm sorry. Now clarify that for everybody.
Thai Dam is we were from the mountains of Vietnam. We migrated from China, but we have almost the same language as Laotian. Okay. So we speak similar but different dialects.
Got you.
You know.
Got you. Do you speak that language as well?
Yes, I do.
Word up. You said a minute ago, you know, we came from the streets and you were getting into that a bit. Tell me about your upbringing, where you came from, all that sort of thing, man. I mean,
as I say, came from the streets, I don't mean anything bad. I just say we came, you know.
Oh, that's what I thought.
No, not anything bad.
Next season of Power.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just playing.
To tell your story.
Yeah, I'm telling my story though. Yeah, I got in some trouble, man. I used to, you know, be out there in the neighborhoods, and you know, I came from a good family, but you know, when my parents are never home, so I just had this curiosity of just being out, you know, hanging with the boys, things like that. So I got into trouble. My first time getting in trouble, selling narcotics was probably when I was like, I was 20. I was 20 at the time. Got in trouble, did my first bid for a year. Fast forward 4 years later, got in trouble again because I didn't learn my lesson. Now I'm here, trying to do the right thing. And yeah, now I'm here.
No doubt.
Just doing it.
No doubt. Would you say that you took any of that like hustling mentality?
Oh yeah,
and flipped it?
I still do. I still do a lot. Business mentality, street mentality. Yeah, man. I would say honor to me, honoring your word and being an honest business. I look at that a lot with other brands and businesses and stuff like that. There's certain brands I don't mess with or businesses I don't mess with because I feel like they're not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So me from being, from the streets, I really look at that a lot with other brands and businesses.
I got you. No, I perfectly understand that. Yeah, we was talking earlier about the whole fakes thing. What's up with this StockX thing?
StockX?
Yeah, I was peeping the shit. It was probably a different documentary, and they was just talking about how like they authenticate shoes and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, they get so much volume of sneakers coming in from selling and buying.
Yeah.
From other people using an app that's selling stuff.
Yeah.
They gotta legit check it within a certain period of time. So sometimes fakes get through their system without them noticing it.
And you correct me on anything, you fill in the gaps on anything that I'm wrong about. But in my limited understanding of StockX, their role is for when a transaction is to take place, the seller will send the shoes to them
to get it authenticated.
They authenticate that they are real and correct.
Yes.
Boom, and then the buyer can know that they're buying the right thing.
Yes.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying sometimes things they fall through the cracks.
Yeah, but sometimes selling on StockX could be a downfall because it's their word against yours. So if you got
it's real and legit, you're saying?
Yeah. Say even if you got a fake pair of shoes or a flaw on your pair of shoes, that's the thing about buying online. Period. If you email them about it or rant about it, they don't care, man. They really don't care. It's just their business is. It's cool to sell sneakers on there, but as being a buyer, you gotta really be careful where you're buying online.
Do you foresee this business having longevity for you here?
This business?
Yeah.
I hope so.
The way it's going.
I really hope so. I really hope so because I love doing this. Our city's a little smaller, so I feel like we're gonna hit a plateau sometime soon.
But you haven't yet.
No, not yet. But the cultures stay growing, Yeah. So also the city's growing a lot over the years. I've seen that.
Yeah.
We see a lot of out of towners that come through. So hopefully we can make something great out of it. We also throw events, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about some of those.
When it gets warmer, we throw flea markets in our parking lot. More of a modern day flea market. We have like art vendors, vintage vendors, sneaker vendors. Anybody that owns a small business could come through, set up shop, and we don't even ask for anything. We just come through and just vibe out.
Right.
Yeah, this is for the culture. This is for anybody that's really trying to get rid of some stuff or network. Yeah, we're just trying to get everybody to network with each other and just vibe.
Okay.
Also, we have Culture Shock. Culture Shock DMI is my partner Alan and Richard from Iowa Souls. Now he's with us doing big events. We do that annually.
When usually? Does it vary each year?
At the end of August or beginning of July, usually before school.
Okay.
We're trying to put that together, and we're actually looking for a venue. So, and if anybody's got a venue, just reach out to us and let us know because we're trying to get it popping.
Okay.
We need a fairly big venue. Last year we did it inside of Valère.
Oh yeah,
Valère.
Yep. How was that?
It was good. It was a great turnout. We had 80 vendors selling, sneakers, clothing, and art.
Who should people reach out to get information about either how to become a vendor or how to find information on Culture Shock?
You can hit us up at our Instagram, Illest Around 515, or our event page, Culture Shock DMI. Yeah, you can reach us there. We're gonna be throwing out more information here soon. Pretty soon, because we gotta get everything organized and things like that. But when we throw flea markets, it's just gonna be random, because that's easier for us to set up. But when we book a venue, that's when we gotta start planning and have everybody save the date, because we gotta have people from out of town, other cities and stuff, come down and actually vend with us. Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit, that's mega ill, man. I was when you were talking about the business or the demand, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The popularity of the culture is progressing. I was peeping this shit, and there's this cat out in like New York and Brownsville and Brooklyn, Fresco Wilson, who he was like teaching middle school kids basically the business of this, the business of custom sneaker game and all that sort of thing. Hey, speaking of which, so let me ask you this, because I wanted to understand this. What is your view on custom sneakers? How does that play into what you do, what you will accept, won't accept? Like if someone gets a pair of some shit, gets artsy with it, how does that impact shit?
Say somebody, got some custom stuff that they made to bring into the shop to sell. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I suppose.
We've had some come through. If it's dope, if it's clean, we would take it in. But there's not much value for a custom pair, because it's been altered with. Right. A pair of shoes has been altered with, it's gonna lose value. Unless it's something really dope, like say you got like a general release pair of shoes and you doctor it up and made it look doper. Yeah. That's gonna bring more value to it.
So you said a general release.
General release as in like something that's not so hot. Like not so hype and popular,
like just a plain pair of white Chucks.
For instance, I had a pair of peach toes. That's what he custom named it. It was a pair of crimson tints. The midsole of it was all pinkish, but he customized it and made it fit the soles, which is white. He made it white, so it popped more and looked more light. So that's what. We actually sold that pair like a few days, actually last week, because people were actually digging that, because it kind of matched a previous pair of bread toes, but in a pinkish color form. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. I come up out of this bitch and fucking people are saying pink toes, girls are saying red bottoms, and fucking Champion is somehow on top. This shit is crazy.
It's growing, man.
Hey, man. Well, I definitely am going to have to stop out to Illest Around. Hey, seriously. All right, talk seriously. I was going to actually be there yesterday, but I was working off this whole
Yeah, it's all good.
Thing. It's all, What about like J's and shit like that? Y'all get those?
Yeah, we get J's. We get all kinds of. We're pretty diverse, bro. We're pretty diverse. We have all kinds of stuff.
So I'm gonna be out there this week, like no bullshit. I'm actually saying it right now, so I have to stick to it. So
if you don't, it's okay. I understand.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be there.
I believe you.
I'm looking the J's, the retro 4s, the red joints.
All red joints, or is it black and red joints?
They're red. That's the only way I can describe them.
Oh, I think you're talking about like the Raging Bulls.
The Raging Bulls?
Or Toro 4s. Toro 4s, they kind of go for the high, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so check this out. I'm going to show you something, because I'm seeing on Eastbay. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
So I went to eastbay.com, and I saw the other day, I saw them at like 200. And I was doing my old man shit of like talking shit, like, man, I don't want to fucking spend no fucking $200 for no fucking joints. I'll just go get like a $49 pair of New Balances like I normally do. 3 pairs all at once, boom, and not buy another pair for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to do. And then I saw these joints, and I was like, man, before I get them, because I was about to hit click on buy. I was like, man, let me just see if possibly, peep game right there. It's these joints right here, boom. You see those?
Oh, those ones. Okay, it got more the tribal pattern and stuff on there.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
If you're looking for that, we could help you find a pair. That's what we do.
I mean, they
at the
got
store
them
too.
right here. From I didn't know if we could talk offline about what you may.
I could find you something better for a little bit more.
But no matter what, I am for certain going in to Illest Around this week. I'm gonna make a point to do that.
Yeah.
Because you've been super supportive. I see you throughout the community. I see you doing your thing, and as much
Always,
love and
man.
respect where
Always.
that's concerned. So I'm definitely going in there, and even if I get this pair here, I'm gonna definitely support and grab something from Illest Around. Everybody that is listening right now should make sure to do so as well. If you've already purchased a pair from Illest Around and you like what you found, go ahead and put a comment in the YouTube joint once we drop that. One more time, give everybody the address of where Illest Around is exactly, sir. We want to make sure people can find it. If you are ever traveling from another city and you happen to cross into Des Moines, you make sure to get out to West Des Moines, Clive area.
We're located inside of Governor Square. Address is 2600 University Avenue, Suite 216, West Des Moines, Iowa 50266.
Hey, and with that, you have any other shout outs, anything else you want to put out there, man?
Shout outs, man.
Put all your heads out there.
Shout out to the archive. They're actually inside of our store. They do the vintage side of things. That's Phoenix and Bowie. Shout out to my partner, Alan.
Yeah.
Shout out to my girl, Carla. Richard. His mom just passed last week, man.
Peace.
Yeah. Shout out to my partner, Richard. That's the culture shock side.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it.
Hey, well, make sure y'all get out there and y'all support Illest Around. Make sure you check out Culture Shock and the flea market as well when they release the information on that. But this has been none other than Justin Baccam, the sneaker connoisseur, here live and direct with PHATEROC at WTFP, the Worst Things First podcast. We out.
Peace.
Much love for rocking with this episode of WTFP. If you enjoyed what you heard today and want to hear more honest discourse with interesting people from ordinary walks of life, please like and share this clip. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every walk of life has a downside, and we begin the conversation there. This is Worst Things First, the podcast.